Hey guys, welcome back to CLOWNFISH TV. This is Kneon, and we're going to do an update on the situation with Paramount buying Warner Bros. Apparently, there's a new wrinkle. It looks like Tencent wants in on this thing too. It's very interesting. I did not realize that that was an option, but apparently, according to Bloomberg, Tencent is said to be back on Paramount-Warner Bros. Deal with fresh funding. So what does this mean exactly? Well, we're going to take a look at that because this is on top of the Saudi infusion that they're getting. So I know a lot of people are celebrating Paramount getting Warner Brothers, and I think of the two options between Paramount and Netflix, definitely Paramount was the best option, right? But I do have concerns about the foreign interests buying into all of these entities. We'll take a look at this. Before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Yeah, so this is coming from Bloomberg. We'll talk about that. Then we'll talk about Wired and some other publications losing their collective shiznit over the Ellisons, owning a huge chunk of Hollywood, a huge chunk of the media landscape. Again, this is coming from Bloomberg. Tencent is said to be back on Paramount-Warner Bros. Deal with fresh funding. Okay, so Tencent intends to invest several $100 million in Paramount Skydance Corp's acquisition of Warner Bros. Discovery, Inc. The Chinese company would be acting as a passive financial investor. Passive, according to people familiar with the situation. Tencent might still decide not to invest, and it could take a while for the deal to be completed. So the Chinese company will be acting as a passive financial investor, the people said, asking not to be identified because the matter is private. Paramount's offer for Warner Brothers in December included a $1 billion equity commitment from Tencent. Okay, so they were involved, according to a filing at the time, but that was withdrawn, okay, after Warner Brothers raised concerns that a Chinese company's presence could lead to national security challenges with U.S. regulators. And they've been through this. The Ellisons have been through this because they're involved in the TikTok situation, right? So yeah, they know how that's going to go down. After Paramount raised and amended its offer, Warner Brothers agreed to sell the David Ellison-led company in a deal worth $10 billion. Tencent might still decide not to invest, the people said, adding that it could take a while for the deal to be completed. Reps for Tencent and Paramount declined to comment. Is this why they're shutting down all these Western studios? Is this why they're laying people off to try to save some money for this? I don't know. Are they interested in the Warner Brothers games division? Is that what they want? Like Mortal Kombat? I don't know. Chinese ownership of U.S. assets has been a cause for concern in Washington, resulting in a deal for social media TikTok. TikTok's U.S. operations this year. Supercell Oi, a Finnish video game company owned by Tencent, said this month is cooperating with the U.S. security probe of its Chinese parents' data practices. Tencent already holds a minority non-voting stake in Paramount. Okay, I didn't know that. It also has co-financed films produced by Skydance, such as Terminator Dark Fate. Oh yeah, they got a huge return on that investment, and helped with marketing and distribution of the studio's blockbusters since its strategic investment in Skydance in 2018. Paramount's acquisition of Warner Brothers is funded by $47 billion in equity backed by the Ellison family and Redbird Capital Partners. Other strategic financial partners may join at closing, which is also backed by $54 billion of debt commitments from Bank of America, Citigroup, Apollo Global Management, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Now, what could be a fly in the ointment is that the Trump administration is debating allowing Tencent to keep its gaming stakes. So the Trump administration might actually be cracking down on Tencent's investments. Would they even be allowed to invest in Paramount? And this is so weird because, again, everybody likes to point out that the Ellisons are Trump friendly. But we'll cover this because I don't think we've talked about it here on the channel. So the White House is debating whether to allow Tencent to keep its stakes in major video game groups in the U.S. Top officials have held internal meetings to assess whether Tencent's investments in U.S. and Finnish gaming firms pose a national security risk. Meeting among several cabinet officials scheduled for Tuesday, that would have been this week, to review the issue was postponed due to scheduling issues. Reuters could not immediately verify the report. The White House and Tencent also did not immediately respond to Reuters' request for comment. Hong Kong-listed Tencent holds a stake in U.S. video game developer Epic. We did know that. The creator of Fortnite in 2016 it bought a majority stake in Supercell, the Finnish mobile game maker behind Clash of Clans, for $8.6 billion. Is Clash of Clans really worth $8.6 billion? So yeah, if the White House is cracking down on Tencent, I don't know if that's even going to go through, right? So let's talk about this, because this is this is really what is getting a lot of people, the politics behind the acquisition, and everybody is freaking out. By everybody, I mean all the major media outlets are freaking out at the possibility that the Ellisons could control not just CBS News but CNN. And I think the dominoes are going to fall. And I'm going to tell you the truth right now. Websites, media outlets like this, cable television, all this shit's dying. It is dying. This is not how people consume news anymore. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see, how this is going to play out. And this could be the kill shot, I think, for a lot of these outlets, which is why they're freaking out. Because if you have the Ellisons control, again, CNN and CBS News, whatever, and you're going to have all the boomer right wingers, going over to those media networks, right? They're not going to watch the MS Now or whatever the hell it's called. They're not gonna go to your stupid website. People aren't going to stupid websites anymore. That's why any website you go to anymore has pop-up ads for like, support this website. Oh, paywalled content, blah, 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 blah. Because they're desperate. They had, a decade and a half where they grew from, again, money that wasn't really theirs. It's venture capital or USAID money or whatever it was. And now they have to pay for themselves and they can't. And Google has actually collapsed that whole ecosystem. So your friends at Google, there you go, Wired. That's why you're not getting the traffic you used to get. No, actually what's going on with Wired, I'll just go out here and I've talked about this before. Wired talks mostly about politics now. Like it's ice. It's insane. They used to be more of a tech company, but now they're all politics because that's what gets hits, right? Anyway, this was the end of February, but we'll talk about it because they're freaking out. Everything Larry and David Ellison will control. Paramount buys Warner Brothers. All right, so CBS and CBS News, HBO and HBO Max. CNN, this is what they're worried about. While CNN's ratings dipped last year, it remains a news juggernaut and a top 5 cable network. Does it? Is it really? Featuring household names like John King, Caitlin Collins, and Anderson Cooper, who announced he'll be leaving 60 Minutes, probably because of Barry Weiss, because of the Ellisons. But he's not gonna have an easy time over at CNN. DC Comics, Harry Potter. I'm surprised. Oh my God. They actually mentioned Harry Potter without talking about what a bigot J.K. Rowling is. That's amazing. TikTok. Yes. So a lot of people on TikTok do not realize the Ellisons now own a big chunk of TikTok, 15% of it, which means TikTok is probably going to swing more right, but like they got to figure something out with TikTok. TikTok is a great platform with a lot of reach that makes no money for its creators unless you get brand deals. Like the advertising revenue over there is dog shit. It's worse than YouTube. Star Trek, Warner Brothers Studios, Comedy Central, Avatar Studios. That's a whole separate thing. So that'd be the Avatar movies. A bunch of cable channels. Like how they just throw everything else. A bunch of other cable channels and networks. Food Network, HGTV, Discovery, blah, 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 blah. Other key franchises. Mission Impossible, Lord of the Rings? No. Oh, yeah, Warner Brothers. Yeah, Lord of the Rings, Mission Impossible, and Dune. There's a whole bunch of stuff they're going to own. So, yeah, that's why they're freaking out. But I don't know how it's going to go, because if you let Tencent buy into that, then they're going to have a stake in all those franchises as well. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We got to wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.